We are going to now cross live to Cairo in Egypt, where Arise correspondent SEYITAN ATIGARIN is on standby to update us on the third Intra-African trade fair that's currently underway. SEYITAN, welcome to the program. So a number of deals are expected to be signed at this year's Intra-African Trade Fair 2023. What are the expectations for such deals for the creative sector?
It's great to hear your voice, Vimbai, and of course Cynthia in the studio. But let's talk about these deals that are expected to be sealed under the Creative African Nexus called CANEX. Now, it's very exciting times because the Vice President of the Intra-Africa Trade Bank at Afrexim Bank, that is Mrs. Kanayo Awani, has spoken about an African film fund that will be about $1 billion. Now, that is one of the largest investments in the creative industry that we have heard, in this time of the decade. But what's important to note is that this $1 billion will go into co-financing with large studios and even one-on-one with film industry experts. I'm talking about producers, directors, and film writers, of course. And even in 2022 at the CANEX Film Festival in 2022, they had already spoken about a $500 million US dollar budget that had been put aside. But this year, it's been increased to $1 billion. And she also highlighted the fact that there are already some films, some creative films, film, fashion, sports that already have seen these investments already taking in. And by 2024, they'll be letting the people know exactly what those investments are. But to also add to that, she also did mention that the film, I Do Not Come to You by Chance, that was premiered at the Toronto International Film Festival by Genevieve Naji, I'm sure you're aware of that, was actually sponsored by Afrexim Bank. So we can see this bank continuing to contribute in its own way to the creative sector, which is what the Creative African Nexus was all about to begin with.
Well said, SEYITAN. Now, you spoke about the launch of the CANEX Book Factory and Prize for Publishing Africa, spearheaded by Chimamanda Adichie. Can you tell us more about that?
Oh, yes, that happened yesterday at the opening ceremony. Very exciting times. We are all big fans of Chimamanda Adichie, and we are very aware of her annual book club, that she hosts every year, where she's been able to write, she's joked about writing so many recommendation letters that her hand has started to hurt. But what has come out of that is the fact that we now have this particular book publishing prize winning for Africa. There's not been no amount announced yet, but what is going to happen is that thousands, if not millions of writers will be able to send in their applications, and it will be judged by an extensive, of course, writers, people in the publishing industry. And once they're able to narrow it down, they will now announce the winner at the next year 2024 CANEX weekend. And what is very interesting about this particular prize is the fact that it's in collaboration with the Narrative Press Publishing. Now, he used to be a member of her book club and then went ahead to open his own publishing company. And at this time, they are collaborating. Chimamanda and the CEO of this company are collaborating to give back in a way. And of course, it's also being backed up by CANEX. So very exciting times for writers. This is supposed to help promote the literacy field here in Africa, the reading culture, making more people want to get invested. And of course, who would not want to be mentored by renowned author and, Chimamanda Adichie herself?
Absolutely. Such a fantastic opportunity and glad to see results from this. Now, of course, it's day 2. So what does Afrexim Bank's Creative African Nexus have in store over the remaining 5 days?
Oh, yes, I have my notes here. There's a lot happening over the next few days. We've already done, yesterday was the opening ceremony. Today is day 2. We've already gone through so many masterclasses. And a lot of these masterclasses are talking about very important things. Today, for example, we had the future of animation in Africa. Is Africa ready? We know that the animation industry in Hollywood and even in other parts of the world have been able to break major banks. So it's one of the major conversations that have been had. Tomorrow, we're going to be talking more about, of course, streaming farms and African music ecosystem, mitigating its impact, designing for change, fashion with a purpose, of course. And I think what is really exciting for me, this is going to be happening on Saturday, if I'm right, is there's going to be a Jollof War, because they're also introducing, for the first time this year, the gastronomy masterclasses, where they're going to be inviting chefs from all around the world to come and have conversations about how to place African food at the forefront. And me, I'm just waiting for these Jollof Wars, because you know that it is a war that has been long coming. Which country has the best jollof rice? Is it Nigeria? Is it Senegal? Is it Ghana? Well, on Saturday, we're going to find out, and trust that SEYITAN is going to be front and center to make sure I taste that jollof rice. I might be a bit biased because I'm Nigerian, but I will try my best to make sure that we actually end this war once and for all. But what I really love about the CANEX Festival this year is how they've been able to delve into all sectors of entertainment and the creative industry, from films to art to gastronomy, like I've just said, and other parts. Very, very exciting times back here, here in Cairo at the Intra-Africa Trade Fair 2023.
SEYITAN, there was no shock in my face when you said that you're looking forward to the Jollof Wars, but I will tell you that you have to find a way to bring something back for me. How you preserve it is your business. All right, correspondent SEYITAN ATIGARIN live from Cairo. Thank you for joining us here on Newsday. We appreciate your time.